There is a very familiar paradox in life. There are people who work hard all their lives, working in the sun and rain. Their hands are calloused, sweat is pouring down on every field, construction site, factory, but in the end they are still stuck in the worry of making a living. They grow old in worry, forever young, unable to escape the cycle of making a living. On the contrary, there are also people who start from zero, even encounter more difficulties and deprivations. They have suffered from poverty, have stumbled, have gone through days when they did not have enough food to eat, did not have enough clothes to wear. However, just one daring to change, one daring to break through, they have opened the door to success, turning their life to a completely different page. The question is, what makes the difference? The answer is change. If you want money, if you want to change your life, you must first dare to change. Why do you have to dare to change if you want money? What is money? For many people, money is just printed pieces of paper used to exchange for rice, clothes, medicine, a small house to protect from the sun and rain. But for those who understand more deeply, money is a manifestation of the value we create for society. The more useful value we create, the more opportunities we have to receive more money. Here we see one thing: if our way of thinking, working, and living does not change, the value we create will not be different. If an ordinary worker continues to do simple manual work for his whole life, does not learn more skills, does not dare to try new fields, the value he creates is still the kind of value that millions of other people can also provide. That value is rarely paid well. On the contrary, a farmer who knows how to apply technology, switching from low-yield rice cultivation to a smart agricultural model, clean products, meeting market demand, the value they create is different. If a worker dares to learn a foreign language, dares to go to technical training, dares to try his hand at starting a small business, his income will step up to a new level. The difference lies in whoever dares to change. That person has the opportunity to touch money and success. The ancients have a saying, going on the same old road will only lead to the same old place. If we keep doing what we are used to, thinking what we used to think, we will only receive what we have and are having. However, money, and more broadly, prosperity, only comes when we step out of that loop. Life proves many rich businessmen today once started from poverty. What they have in common is not luck, but the courage to change. They changed their mindset from working for hire to being a boss, from being content to exploring, from spending to investing. These turning points lead them to a prosperous life. Human barriers to change, knowing that change is necessary, not everyone can do it easily. There are three biggest barriers that keep people in the familiar circle. First, fear of failure. People are inherently afraid of the unknown. Everyone wants safety, few dare to make trade-offs. Poor people often do not lack capacity, but lack courage. They worry that if they try to do something new and fail, they will lose the small amount of money they have saved. That worry makes them choose be poor but secure. But paradoxically, it is this security that keeps them in the circle of poverty. Second, the safe zone. Doing what is familiar, living in the same environment, familiar with the people around, hearing the same stories, all create a sense of security. But the comfort zone is a sweet trap. It keeps us at the level of enough to live, but never rich enough. Only when we step out, accept discomfort, can we expand our own boundaries. Third, limiting beliefs. How many people have told themselves, "I'm not good enough. I don't have capital. How can someone like me be rich?" It is these whispers in their heads that kill all possibilities of changing their lives. While in reality, many billionaires started from scratch, many great founders were just poor students. The difference is only that they believe they can, and they act. In addition, there are barriers from society, family, and prejudice. Many parents teach their children just have a stable job, don't dream of starting a business. Many friends gather in coffee shops to complain about their problems, instead of discussing plans to change their lives. Such environments make us accustomed to old ways of thinking and afraid of change. The path to change: to have money, you have to change. But how to change? One is to change your mindset. The old mindset sees money as a reward for hard work. The new mindset understands that money is the result of value. People who work hard but do not create great value will only have a limited income. People who know how to be creative, know how to find opportunities, know how to serve social needs, will have a source of outstanding income. 2 is to change their habits. Poor people often spend money emotionally. When they have money, they buy things, spend it all, then worry about the next thing. Rich people have the habit of managing their finances, taking notes, investing, saving, and allocating. Poor people often spend their free time on useless entertainment. Rich people spend a lot of time learning, reading, connecting, and expanding their knowledge. Just changing their habits will change their financial path. 3 is to change their actions. No change comes from empty thinking. Start small. Try online business. Try learning a new skill. Try investing a small amount. No matter the result, you still learn from experience. With each new action, you take a step out of the old cycle. 4th is to change the environment. If you want to be rich, get close to people with rich thinking. If you want to learn, join a community that loves to learn. The environment will take you further than you think. If you keep hanging around people who always complain, you will forever be held back by that energy. 5th is to change the way you look at failure. Failure is not the end, but a lesson. Poor people fear failure, rich people see failure as tuition. The same event, to ways of looking at it create different fates. Change is not a what-time thing. It is a journey. Every day, we change a little, patiently and disciplined to gradually create a big difference. Brave to change, brave to be rich. If you want money, you can't keep the old path. You can't keep going on the familiar path and hope for a new destination. You can't keep thinking like yesterday and hope for a bright day. And you can't keep the old habit and wait for a different future. Change is the key. But change is not a quick turnaround overnight. It is a long process that requires patience, discipline, and above all, courage. Brave to overcome fear. Brave to leave comfort. Brave to start over when necessary. In this world, everything changes. Season after season, day after day, the river flows forever. If people stubbornly stand still, they are falling behind. So, don't wait for a day. Don't wait until everything is too late to be startled. Your change can start right now. Ask yourself, what can I change today so that tomorrow I can be richer than yesterday? The answer to that question is you who will continue to write your own life.